us to relay to you. Mr. Gwin, is it all right for our guest to leave the studio now? All right, you may leave now. This is the script that Mr. Gwin gave me, and I'm going to read it verbatim. And anytime you wish to interrupt me. All right. There is a doctor at St. Luke's who knows about a city called STYNX in New Mexico. I need his help. He's at St. Luke's Hospital. All right, this is Bill Close. Louis didn't go out. Louis, well, our guest must leave. Well, he's gone. I don't know where he is. He may have gone out the back door. Would you check on that, please? All right, I'm going to continue here. This starts out, this is for Bill Close and Dan Rather. And Mr. Gwin writes, yeah, you're getting the feedback. You're getting the feedback. You're on. My name is Joe Gwin. I am a watchman. Read the 33rd chapter of Ezekiel. This is about the story of the 10 prophets. The 10 prophets are Johnny Cash, Ronnie Millsap, Eddie Rabbitt, Larry Gatlin, Hank Williams Jr., Rex Allen Jr., Willie Nelson, Conway Twitty, Loretta Lynn, Lacey J. Dalton, Tanya Tucker, Barbara Mondrell, Joe Gwin, the traitor. The Arizona Republic and Phoenix Gazette can verify this story. 16 years ago in September, about the 25th of 1966, all of these people's names above meet at the same time, including me. I was almost 13 years old. We all meet, and we're together at the same hour. Mysteriously, I was the only one who knew what it was about. The others didn't. I did, and why Islam? Islam knew why and arranged for us to meet. We talked very little with each other. Lucy J. Dalton wrote a song for me that day. It's called Mistakes. There is one thing they all knew, is that I held the key. They all knew that I knew something, but they didn't know what. I saw a movie. Islam is using something called sociology on children in schools across America today. Sociology is the study of the human condition. It is also something called funnel vision. Funnel vision is a way at looking into the future, and it is also hypnotism, being able to hypnotize people. Islam is using this sociology on children. They used it on my generation to start the hippie movement and drugs, and on today's generation to turn them into punks and punk rockers by hypnotism. In the next 2 years, there will be 5 new cities started in the United States. Mr. Gwin, before I read these cities, is there anything you want to say at this moment?
No, no.
All right, thank you. These will be major cities. Only men, white Anglo men, will be living in these cities. They will be completed in 1994. There will be about 15 million men in these cities by July of 1994. With the, yes.
Okay, these men that are going to be living in these cities are homosexual.
Okay.
And I am a homosexual.
Mm-hmm.
And these are my brothers.
Yes.
Okay, continue.
All right. Let's see, where was I? There will be about 15 million men in these cities by July of 1994, with the capacity of holding 20 million people. World War III begins in the fall of 1988. Edward Kennedy will be the next president. He will be elected for 2 terms. Now, at the end of World War III in 1994, our troops will be coming home from war. Islam is going to trick these troops into going into these cities on the 4th of July, 1994. These cities are going to have a parade. It's Independence Day, the war is over, and we're all brothers. On July 4th of 1994 at 12 noon, there will be 20 million men in these 5 cities. Islam is going to blow these cities up with atomic bombs. These 5 cities are Cyclops in Pennsylvania, Ominix in Arkansas, Yosemite in Nebraska, Isolox or Itchabad in Idaho, and Snix in New Mexico. All these cities will be isolated. After this happens, there will be civil war in America. The United States will be divided up into 4 countries, an Islam country in the east, southern states of America in the southeast. In the southwest, it will go back to Mexico, and a new state from the states in the northwest. In the next 20 years, there will be a migration on 80 million people from Latin America. In the next 20 years, that will follow that there will be 200 million people from Latin America in the United States. There will be a civil war. The United States will become a Latin country. The southern states of America will be invaded in about 2006 to 2016 from an army from Brazil. That war will last 6 months. Brazil will destroy the southern states of America in 6 months. The fall of Canada will come shortly after. More about the 10 prophets. As the newspaper reporters were arriving, I was leaving. They only got a glimpse of me, the man from Islam, knocked the camera out of the reporter's hand. The next day it came out in the newspaper, a story, the 10 prophets. Here again were the names of the people I met that day. Their pictures were on the front page. Johnny Cash, Larry Gatlin, Ronnie Millsap, Eddie Rabbitt, Hank Williams Jr., Rex Allen Jr., Conway Twitty, Willie Nelson, Lacey J. Dalton, Tanya Tucker, Loretta Lynn, Barbara Mandrell, and where my picture was supposed to be, it was blank below with the words, "The Traitor." This much of the story the Arizona Republic and the Phoenix Gazette can verify. They left it a mystery. Today in the public schools, the story of the 10 prophets is being taught. Take a survey among 6th grade school children. Bill Close, at least 1 in 6 know the story about the 10 prophets. Why is this being taught, and why is it being kept such a secret? Why are they doing this? Find out. In the last 16 years of my life, I have had communications through mental telepathy with all of the peoples named. In the story of the 10 prophets, all of these people have tried to get me to show up for 16 years. They have wrote songs and talked to me. Lucy J. Dalton wrote a song for me, Mistakes. Bill Close, listen to the song. In the song, it talks about another big gray movie, provides the big silver screen, and about my crazy dreams. Let me interrupt here. Do you want to read some of this, or do you want me to continue reading?
Leave this part out.
Leave that part out?
Sorry.
Okay. Do talk to her. Also, Tanya Tucker watched me being born. Why isn't it a mystery? Ask Dan Rather to talk to Johnny Cash. They have met before when Dan Rather did 60 Minutes on Johnny Cash. They talked a little, not on television, about the 10 prophets. Johnny Cash knows my name. Call the Arizona Republic and Phoenix Gazette and find out if this story ever existed. If they can't find it, do a survey with 6th grade school children. You will find 1 in 6 who will confirm the story exists. Islam started a fire at the Arizona Republic and Phoenix Gazette several years back and burned the place up. Please check out my story of the 10 prophets. This is why I am known as the traitor. Here is my story. When I was a little boy, about 5 years old, I did something called astral projection. My spirit took a walk out of my body. I was frightened. A man from Islam shows up to me and starts showing me all the things I would do and what I would become by using funnel vision. He really scared me. Then an angel shows up and they talked, and the man from Islam left. Then the angel shows me a book about me and the life I was supposed to live. The angel told me the story about the 10 prophets. Then he told me I was a watchman, Ezekiel chapter 33. The angel told me I would meet all these people, the 10 prophets, the country singers. This is these people's part they have in this. Back to the beginning. Islam used sociology on our people. In my generation, they call us hippies. Islam came to my school, C.J. Jorgensen, 1963 on Rozier Road and 17th Avenue in South Phoenix. Now the angel told me all about Islam and his culture. The black man is Iqab. This is his African culture, Islam and sociology. Sociology is the study of the human condition. It is funnel vision and hypnotism. The Latin America has also mastered sociology and hypnotism. The East European is from Romania, Hungary, Czechoslovakia. These three are brought together through Islam. These three groups are the best organized in the world. They have infiltrated every institution in America. The Eastern also has a way of looking into the future. By looking into the human mind, they can see that person's thoughts in the future and change those thoughts with the use of hypnotism. They can program the human mind like a computer. People will do what you tell them. This is how hippies got started and the punk rockers. Islam used this sociology on children. Now the 10 prophets part in it was that these people's part in it was that I was to tell them the story, but not about the angel, only about the cities. Cyclops in Pennsylvania, Ominix in Arkansas, Yosemite in Nebraska, Isolox or Izabad in Idaho, and Snix in New Mexico. I had a movie inside my head about everything they did and could have proved it. The singer's part, the 10 prophets, was to get these people back to their country roots and away from chasing fads like hippies and punk rockers. It was to unite our people one more time. World War III will start in the fall of 1988. Edward Kennedy will lead the United States in World War III. He will be the next president and be elected 2 terms. The angel said we could unite and fight these Muslims there, Islam and their allies. God's plan is that these men who want to build these cities go up in the Northwest Territories and build a country there. In our old history books, this country existed. 20 million men from the United States built a utopia country in the Northwest Territories. Their colors were green and Canada's pink. There is oil north of the territories around Victoria Island. The northeast side, the largest in the world, will be discovered there. There is lots of wealth there. And at Baffin Island, east side, there is lots on minerals there. There's zinc, copper, uranium, titanium, platinum, and others. These 20 million men who were going to be in these cities built a country and developed this country. These are the richest people in America and the smartest. Some of these people are doctors, lawyers, judges, policemen, bankers, land developers, construction workers, scientists. Some of these people are the best NASA has, and the other agency have. Cyclops of Pennsylvania has the smartest people in America in it. They will lead these. We'll start first. Build close, check into these cities. These cities must never be built. The loss of 20 million men and their wealth would destroy America. Challenge Cyclops to show the world who they are. Reagan can stop these cities, and Kennedy won't. Now is the time to start. These men built this country. Later there will be this migration of 200 million people total, with Latin America will be living in the United States. This will open a door for our people who want to leave because there will be a civil war. Our country will no longer be the United States. The Latin Americans will be the same to us as we were to the Indians. The United States isn't in the Bible, but we are in the North. The Bible says that there would be an alliance between the 2 northern powers that border at the polar circle. Russia is one and Canada is the other, unless about 70 million people migrate to Canada and make it a power. This is in the Bible. The angel showed me, but I didn't write it down, like all my dreams and visions. This is why they say I am a traitor in the story about the 10 prophets. I ran away from these people. I didn't do what the angel told me. He told me that these cities were going to be destroyed and to stop them. Go and build this country in the Northwest Territories and fulfill the prophecy on the 2 northern powers that border at the polar circle. Our names will go down in Lamb's Book of Life because they would have fulfilled this prophecy. Our forefathers were liars, murderers, thieves, sinned against God, brought to America in chains. Our forefathers destroyed a culture that existed for several thousand years. We could have built a country in the North without destroying any people. There wasn't any people in northern Canada and the Northwest Territories. Our forefathers went south when they should have went north. This Bible prophecy is yet to be filled. Now with my first prediction.
Stop. I have something to say for Reagan.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to move this microphone over so that you can.
Okay.